Okay, so we are back technically. This is gonna be our spoiler review, which probably is gonna be this will be like a week later, probably because
Yes.
So
Yeah, so we made sure to put on the same clothing.
oh yeah,
Did this
no,
late o'clock
yeah, the
and
exact same time of night and the exact same lighting.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
no, we just got out of Deadpool, Deadpool 2. Now this is your spoiler warning.
So if you have not seen Deadpool 2, stop this video, go watch it, come on back.
Keep watching and spoil it for yourself.
Yes. So
It is okay to
if
do
you
that.
enjoy spoiled milk, you'll enjoy this review.
So, yeah, we actually had kind of a technical failure in our first recording, so hopefully this one goes well.
Ooh, 21st century.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we were just looking at the old recording, discovered that we forgot to re-talk about our, the Dark Phoenix bit, which I guess we'll get into later, hopefully. But,
Right.
okay, so this movie introduces, Domino, it introduces Cable, and, spoiler, we finally get the Juggernaut everybody always wanted.
Yeah,
And
the Juggernaut in this was like amazing. I
Sure,
mean, between
yeah.
the way that, that was an amazing two special effects fighting against each other, and we'll get into that a little later.
Colossus was awesome. Negasonic Teenage, everybody was awesome. Negasonic Teenage Warhead was back. She was great.
Yeah.
Good God,
So,
where to begin?
how about the beginning of the film?
How they freaking killed Vanessa?
He goes, yeah. Well, you just said on that, so
Well, it's a spoiler review. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, so that is one of those things which usually ruins a movie for me, actually, because Thor Ragnarok ends with them just struggling to save the all the Asgardians, right? And then at the beginning of Infinity War, it looks like the Asgardians were all killed by Thanos, and you knew it ended with Thanos there because that was the after credit scene in Thor Ragnarok, and they started Infinity War with the one thing that's going to piss me off. That ruins us. Like, now that whole movie's pointless. Of course, it turns out that they actually hit the escape pods, and that's why Valkyrie wasn't in the movie, was because she took everybody to the escape pods while Thor and Loki and everybody else who could fight stood their ground to buy them time. But
blue leader to
no, I know.
stay on topic.
I'm blue. No, I'm getting
Yeah.
a point. But that's how they started Deadpool. It's like after all that effort to save Vanessa, and then they kill her off in the first 5 minutes, and
But it is interesting because it does become like a level of motivation. It becomes like that character's journey
True.
and dealing with everything that the aftermath.
and that's kind of where
And it's like
where
the
I was-
motivation, the various other stuff.
Well, that's
was,
also we're
very
talking
purpose.
about where like it's very much like how the Pirates of the Caribbean 2 got too serious, and it really ruined the movie because it wasn't the fun, charismatic character you were hoping for, and they had to kind of do the next movie was almost an apology film, but then this is a time travel movie, and Cable is a time travel device, and time travel plays into the movie, and there is some crazy time travel shenanigans, and spoiler, the way the movie ends, it almost looks like Deadpool went back in time and saved her. Is she going to be alive in the next movie? I don't
Okay,
know.
to get into it, so
Yeah, we're
at the
spoiling this fucker.
right. At the beginning of the movie, you've got set up of basically a great scene where you do a little bit of what happened up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it opens up with Deadpool killing himself.
Yes.
Just plain and simple. There's no way else to say it more than he kills himself.
Yeah.
And he blows himself
I
into...
was wondering if that was the end of the movie, and that wasn't.
Yeah. I actually felt like that was a really nice part. I actually thought it was going to be the beginning of the third act that they were actually going to say it.
Well,
The reason why I say that is thinking about like other films that do that kind of trope of where did we get up to this point?
Mm-hmm.
And then like in Emperor's New Groove, you go through part of the movie and you know what's going to happen because
I
it's
wouldn't
like
know. I haven't seen it.
yeah, but I mean it's like there's other movies that do that kind of trope of like okay, you build up to the midpoint or the beginning of the third act. You know what's about to happen because they told their life experiences, and now we're moving forward. Opposed to, this isn't even the end of the first act.
Yeah, he definitely... you know, I can appreciate how he feels in this movie because, like, I've certainly can personally relate to... Like, I can understand how Deadpool can basically want to die, you know, after what happened. But then...
Yeah, his sweetie dies, and it's that level of like,
and he feels guilty. He feels like he's the one who caused it.
Right. So there's because he's the merc with the mouth. He's going around taking people that are worse than him and killing them.
Oh, and those are some amazing fight scenes, by the way. Like how he
the choreograph.
Well, it's like he goes and cuts some dude, and there's a roundhouse and kicks his head off his body. I actually kind of want to deviate and talk a bit about X-Force. Just it was interesting how like the trailers hyped up that they were going to have X-Force, and we know X-Force is the next movie because that's supposed to start filming before the deal completes. Like that's I think is going to be the last movie that they make in the original X-Men franchise, and so Deadpool's supposed to be back for X-Force, and we're like, we've got X-Force, and you know you've got Domino, you got Deadpool, and then they got a bunch of other characters. Some of them are actual X-Force characters. Some were just characters from whatever. Like one of the characters was an Age of Apocalypse character that they put in there. Another one was Shatterstar, and then we had Peter, who was not what people thought he was, and there was some dude with acidic vomit, and it's just like
the human barfer. Gotcha.
I mean, literally for a moment there, I was like, are we watching Suicide Squad?
I actually kind of wonder if it was like a little bit of a nod to it because like in Suicide Squad, the guy with the superpower of I can escape everything except for the ability to escape this movie alive. The fact that, he gets his head blown off, but yet like that crew, except for the lucky Domino, she's the only one that survives, obviously, besides
I'm absolutely certain that Slipknot had a much larger role in the movie before the reshoots.
Slipknot?
Yeah, he was the guy you're talking about that got his head blown off in the...
Oh, yeah. He's an action figure that I have, so of course I care really deeply about it.
I mean, I am absolutely certain that he had a larger role in the movie before the reshoots. But yeah, in this case, we had, they had it hyped up where like Terry Crews, what? Why is Terry Crews in this movie? He does stupid shit. He never does a good serious movie. You think he's going to be an awesome character. He's got, 5 minutes of screen time? Maybe.
Give or take.
Brad Pitt has the best cameo, by the way, in this film.
Right. It was quite shocking on his appearance.
Don't blink.
Yeah.
It might vanish before your eyes. Like, you might,
Yeah, so... Yeah.
And we're not saying anything more about it. You just got.
Yeah, even though this is a spoiler review, we're going to get at least that.
You might see right through him, it's such a transparent performance. So
apparently so.
Yeah, right. So my God, should we just say what happened to Shatterstar?
So, yeah.
He went down.
Just remember, Shatterstar blended. Not stirred.
Right, and he's supposed to have the luck power, too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Well,
not in this one.
I guess.
But it was so amazing that they said he was from the Mojoverse.
Yeah, actually, that was quite surprising.
He actually had his proper backstory.
Right.
And then he landed on a helicopter and got turned into green goo.
Right.
Instantly. I'm like...
Yeah, was not expecting that.
This is me in the theater.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those moments of did not see that coming.
And then Bedlam, Bedlam might have survived that. Like that did not look like that would have killed him, Terry Crews' character. But then the dude, he had put his team together. They had the most amazing epic skydiving scene. We're going in to kick some ass.
Oh yeah. This was a great Ocean's 11, X-Men, the just level of everything that was going on with it. It was that was that level of Let's get the team together. Let's get all these, individuals that are going to just basically mess some stuff up and just go in.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, and
oh my god, Zazie Beetz, man.
The fact of
she stole the show.
The fact of getting all these guys together and then just watching Final Destination just get themselves taken out of the movie, and poor Peter.
But the fights with Cable, they just went on and on.
Yeah,
the most.
But
brutal...
you know what? It went on and on, but it didn't have that feeling like it was just the and then kind of.
No. But it was literally long.
I mean, it was
Cable versus Deadpool forever.
Right, but it was a good. It was a good amount of action without the kind of okay, Anakin does another lap. He turns left. Turns left. You know what he does next?
He turned left.
No, he turns right
and
avoids the explosion because
but
he's
if he
chosen one.
turns right enough times, he ends up going left.
Yes.
Okay, so I love the part when Deadpool's got the collar on, the power dampening collar, and he comes down and he lands, and he had just disabled the collar, and his powers hadn't kicked in right away, and he lands on this table, and his back is down like this.
So,
oh my god, that was amazing to watch.
So within it, Fire Fisting is one of the characters, and boy does it burn when he must do certain things with his hands and other appendages on his body.
That kid was great.
Oh, that kid was awesome.
Jesus, yeah.
I really liked the kid that they picked for
Fire Fist.
Fire Fisting.
Fire Fisting.
So Fire Fisting was really awesome on the way that the kid was really good actor. Mm-hmm. He really had good timing within his comedy. Mm-hmm. I actually felt like it wasn't oh yeah, here's this kid that has no emotion, no level of interest, no level of more than just being a trope for the sake of the story to continue and be whatever.
He was kind of like Hit Girl in a way, where you have a kid playing this absolutely adult, hardcore role. Like Hit Girl in Kick-Ass, she's swearing, cutting people up. And she, of course, is she is not like that in real life. Nothing like her character. But I kind of wonder about parents that let their kids be these roles.
Well, but I mean, that goes into, that might just be being a good actor. I would definitely like to see
the kids.
I would like to see him in the next film of whatever he does.
He probably.
I think his career could definitely skyrocket.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be in the next Deadpool.
No. I'm saying whatever else that he's going to be in.
Right.
So I think it would be good that he does get into the next Deadpool of whatever that is.
So Deadpool blows himself up, and then Colossus comes and takes the parts, puts them in a bag, and he heals back together. And then he wakes up at the X-Men mansion, and that sequence was hilarious.
Right. And okay, so you like a time traveler or jumping around and going all over the place with this review. I don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about one scene.
Right,
but okay, just to make sure that people understand kind of what's going on. So you're talking about right after he blows himself up, and Colossus comes, gets him,
puts him in a body bag, and he heals. He kind of puts himself back together in the body bag,
right, because of his healing factor.
Right.
So the neatest thing within there is there's a little bit of a nod to the other various X-Men.
Well, he was bitching again about why is it only you two? Because it was always
from the first movie of the studio only.
Yeah, it had Colossus, Negasonic, and then Negasonic's girlfriend is this other character.
Yeah,
and then
as the main X.
Right, and then he's like, why is it I only ever see you guys? Why couldn't something about the studio not pop in for at least for a cameo? And then the camera changes angle, and there's a door, and the entire X-Men team from the next movie is in that room,
and they close the door,
and they go back to whatever. And it's gonna be hilarious if in Dark Phoenix there's a scene where you see Colossus through the door.
I would really hope that they actually do it because that would be a great nod.
Yeah, well, I mean you definitely see Quicksilver and you see Beast,
right?
But it didn't. I think, but you don't really. There are other people in the room, but you don't see who they are. I think all they did is they paid for Quicksilver, the one cameo that he was asking for, and it was just some extra in the Beast outfit, but it probably wasn't the actual actor who was playing Beast. But I mean, again, like if when we finally get to see Dark Phoenix, and there's a scene where they're having a meeting in the mansion room,
Yeah,
and then they close the door, but you see Colossus and Deadpool on the other side. If they don't do that, they're missing an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but it's like part of it. It really did have like a good first act, a good second act, and the build up to the third act, I think, was really enjoyable. I mean, this was
solid, well-made movie.
This was a solid, well-made movie, but it's like it's not the comedy like number one was.
No, it doesn't have as many jokes, but they all. I think they all land.
Right. I think I like said it best with like the spoiler-free version of this, where it's like, here's Deadpool in somebody else's film. Mm-hmm. That's how I really feel like this movie is.
Well, okay, so Deadpool, right? Do you think that Deadpool, like, because do you think that he could go on to the MCU? Because the thing about the Deadpool 1 was that there's nothing in that movie that doesn't fit in the MCU.
Right.
And this one, I think, could also work. Though, maybe not. Seems more cemented in the Fox X-Men universe, and they may have done that on purpose.
Well, I mean, okay. The Juggernaut, which was amazing on the regards of, like,
No, it's the Juggernaut bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he was CG, but at the same time, he was amazing. He looked actually like what you would think a...
he's comic book accurate.
He was comic book accurate without being hokey.
Yeah.
You know, he was...
Oh my God, see how thick the helmet was?
Yeah, but I mean, that was that level of why that there was a spreadsheet of individuals opposed to like one dude at his computer trying to like figure out like how to do this of like animators.
Yeah.
This was well quality, and the reason why I bring that up is like it wasn't the purple rouge whatever version that the Juggernaut was previously, with kind of like the football helmet and the shoulder pads and the cricket bat and whatever.
There wasn't a terrible Juggernaut, but he wasn't comic book accurate, and he really wasn't what the fans wanted to see.
Right.
And
so his steaming pile of terrain that one was definitely not in this movie, and this one was like, I wonder to a certain regard because of having it like a real feel of like this. This works for not just Fox, but maybe this could work for like well
the story is it like it's being, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not Deadpool will continue, because like, see, the kind of getting back to our the comments, like alluding to the whole conversation about the original X-Men franchise, like what's kind of working behind the scenes from what I've gathered is like they've actually had an order that came down that they have to drop X-Men from the title. And there's also been reshoots ordered, even though the movie's done. Right. And the belief
and you're talking about Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, right? And so the belief is that that series is done, and they ordered reshoots that the movie would have a definitive ending, not a let's continue with another film, because there won't be, because the MCU will never tolerate it. And it looks like the industry scuttlebutt. It kind of looks like that the deal's already decided it's going to go through, but they have to complete the process. So it could be another 6 months before we have something, but like, they're done, right? But supposedly X-Force is filming, it's supposed to start filming before the deal concludes, and that is supposed to still happen. And that'll be the next scene with Deadpool. But there has been talk from the head of Disney that they would be willing to do R-rated movies, because Disney has done them before, and they might be willing to continue the Deadpool franchise and integrate it in the MCU somehow, which could easily be done considering the fourth wall breakiness. Right. Be like, oh hey, I'm here now.
It's
he
like
just pops in. But they
oh
they would,
boy, I became part of the Empire.
Right. But the idea would be to release them under the Fox label as the R-rated banner, rather than because MCU is family friendly, and it has to be. And Deadpool just, but then also Ryan Reynolds. I saw an interview with him this week where he's like he actually would want to do a PG-13 one because it would be a challenge. Like let's go for it. Let's see if we can make it work.
Well, and okay, so one of the things that I think would really actually work with that is actually with Deadpool with cosmic awareness, fourth wall awareness, fourth wall, whatever you want to call it. That power, as abstract as it is, actually really does work.
My common sense is tingling.
Yes, but I mean that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's like the media that that character is a part of. You can actually kind of write or do certain things or interact with different properties. Like for me, it's like besides the comics that he's been in and where he really develops like the fourth wall, the cosmic awareness, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. He's also been in animated series from like PG 13 versions to like various others. Like there was a animated there was a animated Spider-Man that Disney had, and it was fantastic. It was like the voice, I didn't really feel like it matched up. My personal opinion, I always felt like he needs to have a very gravelly voice.
Talk about Deadpool?
Deadpool, yeah. But, like...
well, then Ryan Reynolds is the perfect actor then.
Yeah, the interactions of, like, what he was doing with Peter Parker was perfect. I mean, like, the bromance, the way that... Peter has like these little fantasies about like what ifs or whatever, and Deadpool actually like jumping in to the fantasies and interacting with like
wow.
And on top of it, like that version of Peter Parker does the kind of like Ferris Bueller type thing of stop, everybody stops. I turn to the camera and say something and, commentary and go back to the action. And Deadpool in the episode interacts with Spider-Man. Like, he's not time stopped like everybody else.
Well, I've actually heard it mentioned on multiple occasions that it would be really easy because all you have to do is have Deadpool just show up as a cameo and go, oh, I'm here. I guess the deal went through. And then just walks out.
Right.
And suddenly, like, he's in the Marvel Universe, and you can just say those movies are in continuity. It just, because it's just Deadpool, and it just works because he's Deadpool.
Push of a button and time...
yeah.
Rewind time, and this is a better storyline timeline that we went on to.
He did get away with a time travel device at the end, and I definitely don't want to spoil the after credit scenes, but they're freaking amazing. He... as you like to say, he did go clean up the timeline a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're coming up on 25 minutes. I think we should probably call this one. I think that this is an excellent movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely buying the DVD when it comes out.
Yeah, this is definitely F for family.
Yeah, it's definitely a family movie. I will probably have to see it again because Tommy needs to go, so we'll be taking Tommy to see the movie. We might get a reaction video from him too, see what kids think of the film. We've got a 14-year-old kid. I'll be taking. It's actually kind of funny because we've mentioned this before, but like I was going to take this kid when he was 13 or whatever. Basically, I was going to take a kid to see the movie. I did not want to see it because I had, I was still soured by the comic book version, but like a friend of ours had to go to see the movie. It's like, don't take this kid to see the movie. It'd be inappropriate. And it's kind of funny. It's like his mom, had no problem with it, but I didn't take him. And then when I finally see the movie, it's just like, okay, waiting for it to get bad. Still waiting. I'm still waiting and still waiting and wait. And then it's like, okay, I get to the end. It's like, wow, this is not worse than RoboCop. The real RoboCop, by the way. But RoboCop is, talk about hard R. Oh my God, like RoboCop is just vicious, and granted he cut his hand off in the first movie, but it looked cartoony and fake, and like all this violence is just amazing. It's like that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen, and that's one thing was missing is they didn't have anything to top the freeway fight sequence from the beginning of the movie, and
The transport combat was pretty amazing, but definitely it was a different kind of feel.
But it's also interesting that they didn't try to top it. Because how could you?
Yeah.
So let's do something. Anyways, but no, it's like definitely be taking this kid to see it now. This one, it's like this movie is. I think it's even safer. I mean, again, you're a parent. Use your best judgment. I cannot tell you what to do with your kids, even though it is a family movie. But like, this is actually a kind of a little tamer. There's no nudity. We talked about this already, but it's like the nudity.
Right.
The F-bomb only drops a
a
couple times.
There's definitely but cross your legs and wait until it's baby soft.
Tommy will not get that joke. But the violence in this movie is just way more. Man, oh my goodness! Like Wade loses one hand in the first movie, and now it's like he loses his head, loses his legs, arms, everything. Heart's in the wrong place.
Yeah, well, but it's still baby soft.
Yeah, okay, we need to call this. So, yeah.
So, I'm going to give it 3 C's. I'm going to give it...
3 now?
Yeah, 3 C's.
Oh, okay.
Gets an upgrade. So, just like the last review, I'm going to give it Canada. I'm going to give it Clean Up the Timeline.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give it Chimichangas.
Well, I'm still going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about this is that, this would be stupid, very childish, but like, having a couple teacups with a C on it, and we're both drinking tea. A couple teacups. It's a Deadpool. You gotta be really. Anyways, so
could you explain that joke again?
Oh well.
So thank you for watching.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, go see Deadpool, and
And also check out our content.
And enjoy that we ruined the movie for you. Yes, please, if you like this review, please share it, like it, subscribe to our channel. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/WoodyMakesComics, which allows us to produce lots of additional content for people because we make comic books.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and conwaytheseries.com. Check out our books at conwaytheseries.com. Got to remember those.
So that will be our 4th C.
Yeah. Yes, the 4th C. Or my first. Yeah. Yeah, right.
All right, and ending video.
Okay, cool.
Bye.